Hey there, so today I'm going to show you a super simple way to make scabs using instant coffee. Hopefully get something from this and enjoy. So what you'll need to create this makeup obviously is some coffee grounds. You'll need some latex. You'll need some form of adhesive. I just have spirit gum here. You can use Prosade if you want to. You'll need some fake blood. You'll need some cream-based makeup. If you don't have this, that's no worry. You can actually use red eyeshadow or red skin illustrator if you've got that, but you're just looking to use the red colors in this palette. You'll need a spatula or something like this that you can actually crush a bit of the coffee with. And then just a couple of makeup sponges. So this is just a torn up makeup sponge. And this is definitely a personal thing, but I like to put a bit of powder on at the end just to kind of mattify the latex and get rid of the shine, or if you've got another product that does that besides powder, then you can definitely use that as well. And that's it. So what you want to do to start is grab a bit of the coffee and just tap it out on the surface. You probably only need about maybe a teaspoon. I guess it really depends on how large an area you're going to apply this. The way I've been taught before is you actually just get coffee grounds and you mix it in with some form of adhesive like Talus or latex or something like that, and then just apply it straight on the hand. The thing I don't like about that is I find that sometimes the coffee grounds, depending on what brand you use, they're actually quite harsh and sort of don't look anything like skin. And also if you make a paste with this, so if you mix this together with wet ingredients, normally you'll get sort of a brownish residue as well around the outside that stops it from looking realistic. So what I do is just pour out a little bit like this. You don't have to crush all of it. In fact, it's probably better that you leave some of the pieces whole, and then just lay it out on a flat surface like this. And then normally what happens with road rash or scabs or something like that, so for example if I'm doing it on my hand here, what you want to do is put it on the high points. So those are the surfaces of the hand, obviously, all the parts of the hand that would touch the ground first if I fell. So I'm just going to get a bit of the spirit gum and then just sort of randomly dab it around on the high points of my palm here. What I normally do just to make spirit gum tacky, is I just keep going back over the top with the brush. I normally don't like using my fingers. I find that it actually loses its tackiness. So, and then once that's ready to go, what you do is just pick up some of the coffee grounds and then dab those on top. Once you've covered the glue, in this case the spirit gum, just gently, and you could use a brush to do this as well if you want to, just flick off whatever is loose of that coffee. And what I do now is just put that coffee aside and grab the latex and the stipple sponge and then just go over that whole thing with a light layer of latex. What you want to try and avoid doing is going back over the same area too many times, because what you'll do is you'll activate the coffee and then the latex will become brown, and then you'll end up with this sort of pale brown halo around the outside. So, and then just to speed up this process, if you've got a hairdryer handy, grab that and then just dry over the top of that with a hairdryer now. Then after you've dried it with a hairdryer, what I normally do is just give it one more gentle tap just to make sure all that loose coffee falls off. And another thing you can do at this stage as well is if you've got a spatula or just something that has a sharp end on it, you can go in now and just lift up or move some of that latex and adhesive and sort of create some random holes in there if you want to, just to simulate torn skin. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. Then what I do is I grab the setting powder and a brush and I just go back over the top of that very, very lightly with some setting powder just to get rid of the shine and just to knock back some of the brownness of that coffee. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this dark red color here, make sure there's hardly any of that cream paint on my brush, and then just go around the outside and just lightly add a bit of irritation around the outside. And in those holes that you picked out a little bit earlier, just go back in with a little bit more red and just darken up the inside of those so it looks like the layers of skin have actually been torn up. And once you're happy with the red, what I normally do is I go in just with a wet tissue or a wet wipe and just dull off some of that red around the edge. If you've been a little bit too heavy with it, you can just dab over the top. And then the final step now is just to grab your favorite fake blood and get one of the Q-tips and then just add some fake blood to the deepest parts. But if you go over the top of the coffee grounds and then just around the outside as well, and then you can just mop it up with the opposite end of the Q-tip. So that's it there. That is my instant scab using instant coffee. You could leave it like this if you wanted to. You could add more blood. You could take some of the blood away as well. You can also use this as a gravel rash trick too, so if you wanted to, you could apply this technique to someone's face. I probably wouldn't go too close to the eyes though, considering you are using latex, so maybe avoid the eyes, but across the cheeks or the forehead or something like that, or even on the nose is fine as well. If you want to create the illusion that the hand has actually fallen and slid along the ground slightly, if you have a coarse makeup sponge, so something like this, you can just get the end of it and dip it in what's left of the blood and just quickly and lightly run over the top of the scab like this, just to give the illusion that the hand has actually fallen across the ground. So you can turn that scab look into gravel rash as well, just by doing that quickly. If you don't have one of these, you can use just a regular brush and create some lines with blood, and that's it. So that is my scabbed hand, which you can also use as gravel rash or gravel rash effect. Thanks for watching.